They never come at you head on. That's not how the enemy moves. The real ones don't bark, they whisper. They hide in shadows, behind compliments, behind smiles so wide they curve like knives. They disguise their war as friendship. Their hate wears perfume. Their sabotage sounds like encouragement. But look closer. Not every hand that claps is clapping for you. The parable of the wheat and the tares, it's more than just an ancient farming story. It's prophecy for your life. Because you planted wheat. You prayed, you fasted, you cried. You put in work when no one was watching. You laid the foundation stone by stone, believing that when the harvest came, it would be good. But what happens while you sleep? Sabotage begins in silence. The Bible says the enemy came at night, not with noise, not with an army, just seeds. Seeds of chaos, doubt, confusion, jealousy. He didn't destroy the field. He planted beside your purpose, tares beside your wheat, distractions beside your destiny, manipulators beside your mission, wolves dressed like worshipers, enemies that look like answers. Why? Because he knows how heaven works. And the enemy is strategic. He's not just after your field, he's after your faith. If he can't take your blessing, he'll try to blur your vision. If he can't uproot your purpose, he'll plant people to entangle your growth. People that get close just to pull you down. People who clap when you're up front, but cheer when you fail in private. People who say, "God bless you," with venom behind their teeth. Read this slowly. Let it hit. Just because someone walks beside you doesn't mean they're with you. Just because they pray in public doesn't mean they aren't cursing you in private. Some of the worst enemies don't come with swords. They come with smiles. You think it's love, but it's strategy. You think it's support, but it's surveillance. You think it's friendship, but it's a front row seat to your downfall. They want to be close enough to applaud your failure. Now, hear me on this. The field looked fine. From the surface, everything looked good. Green, growing, productive. But the servant looked again. He said, "Didn't you plant good seed?" Translation: why is there dysfunction in your destiny? Why is drama following your discipline? Why are they talking about you when all you did was mind your own? Let me tell you something. You did plant good seed. You did everything right. But the attack isn't proof of failure. It's confirmation of favor. The enemy only sows in fields that threaten him. If there's sabotage in your soil, it means your harvest is sacred. But what now? You see the sabotage. You feel the betrayal. You notice the whispers. You recognize the fake support. Do you rip it all up? Do you throw the whole field away? Remember, the master said, "Let them grow together." Why? Because premature separation can destroy your promise. Because some of what you're going through isn't meant to be fought. It's meant to be outlived. Let them watch. Let them sit beside you. Let them grow next to your wheat. Because when the harvest comes, the fruit will speak. The wheat will reveal itself. And the tares will be exposed. Some snakes will shed skin, but they're still snakes. Some Judas figures will kiss you, but the kiss still betrays. Some people aren't assigned to you. They're assigned against you, but God will let them sit in your field. So they can't deny your favor. Every whisper behind your back will become a footnote in your comeback. Every sabotage attempt will turn into strategy for your growth. Every fake friend will have to watch what God does in your life because you didn't fight them. You outlived them. Now let me talk to your soul. You're not crazy. You're not paranoid. You're not imagining it. That shift you feel, that's your spirit recognizing contamination. That discomfort, it's discernment waking up. That silence from people you supported. It's the pruning, that betrayal. It's confirmation that your soil is rich, your purpose is potent, your future is fire. You don't have time to explain yourself. You don't have time to beg anyone to believe you. You don't have time to plead your case. The harvest will speak. the results will roar. And the same mouths that lied will have to confess. God was with you the whole time. Let the tares grow. Let the fakes talk. Let the snakes slither. God doesn't remove everything fake right away, because exposure is part of elevation. You're not just surviving this. You're being separated for something greater. So say this with me. I will not shrink to keep them comfortable. I will not water down my purpose. I will not explain my calling to the unqualified. I will not entertain sabotage disguised as support. I will protect my field. I will guard my peace. And I will harvest everything heaven planted in me. The story ends with glory. The farmer doesn't fail. The wheat doesn't die. The sabotage doesn't win. The master still reaps what he sowed. So stay grounded and stay planted. Stay focused. Let God deal with the tares. Let heaven handle the hidden. You just keep growing. Because when it's harvest time, they'll know. They'll know you were chosen. They'll know the favor was real. They'll know they tried and failed. They'll know your name was protected. They'll know your field was sacred. They'll know they couldn't stop what God started. Let them grow, but you glow, you go, you rise, because the harvest is coming. What the Bible doesn't say is what might be the most haunting truth of all. It doesn't say that the enemy was a stranger. It doesn't say the enemy came from a distant land. It doesn't say the enemy was some mysterious dark force. It leaves the identity of the enemy wide open. And that silence speaks volumes. Because the truth is, the one who sowed the sabotage, who planted tares beside your wheat, could have looked like you, talked like you, known your dreams, prayed with you, smiled in your face. It could have been a friend, someone you trusted, someone who knew your field because you gave them access. Not a thief who broke in, a guest who was invited. The Bible says, while men slept, the enemy came and sowed tares. But who knows where your gates are better than someone you dine with? Who knows the rhythm of your rest better than someone who walks close? Who has the opportunity to strike silently, sow subtly, and smile sincerely? More than a friend turned foe. This is what hurts the most. The attack didn't come from afar. It came from the inside, from the circle, from the trusted, and it mirrors real life. Because most people aren't wounded by enemies. They're wounded by betrayal. They're wounded by silence when a friend could have spoken up. They're wounded by sabotage disguised as support. They're wounded by people who prayed for their success publicly, but planned their downfall privately. That's why Jesus didn't say the gates of hell wouldn't form. He said they wouldn't prevail, because you can't stop formation, but you can stop infiltration. And here's what most won't tell you. The same people who say, "I'm proud of you," are the ones who feel threatened when you actually succeed. They cheer until your light makes theirs look dim. They support you until your breakthrough comes faster than theirs. They clap until you no longer need their applause. And then the sowing begins. Seeds of doubt, seeds of gossip, seeds of division, seeds of spiritual confusion. They start whispering to others about your motives. They start spreading rumors that twist your progress into pride. They start shifting the narrative, not to glorify God, but to diminish the vessel He chose. And all the while, you're asleep, you're resting, you're trusting, you're building, you're unaware, but not unprotected. Because even though they planted in the dark, God still reigns over the soil. Even though they tried to mix dysfunction with destiny, God still controls the harvest. What they sowed to sabotage, God will use to separate. And hear me clearly, the betrayal had to happen. Because nothing reveals real from fake like time and harvest. When everything starts to grow, what was hidden becomes visible. The tares grow tall, but they never bear fruit. The wheat grows too, and its weight makes it bow low in humility. You can spot the difference. The fake stands tall, empty and proud. The real bows low, heavy and humble. That's how God separates them. And when the master comes to gather the wheat, he doesn't even have to explain. He just says, let them grow together until the time of harvest. Because at that point, the difference is undeniable. Now let's bring this home. You were never weak. You were never blind. You were just obedient. You were obedient to love, obedient to trust, obedient to be who you were called to be, even when others had hidden agendas. You thought they were cheering, but they were checking. You thought they were building, but they were breaking behind your back. That's why the attack hurt so deep, because it wasn't war from the outside. It was sabotage from the inside. But listen, God saw it. Before they whispered, before they plotted, before they positioned themselves beside your wheat, He saw it all. And He still let them grow, because part of your preparation is learning to lead beside Judas. Part of your process is growing in a field with sabotage. Why? Because if you can still grow there, you can grow anywhere. If you can bear fruit with fake friends in the room, you can thrive anywhere. If you can stay kind when they sowed cruelty, stay humble when they sowed arrogance, stay truthful when they sowed lies, stay holy when they sowed temptation, then you are ready for promotion. Because the harvest isn't about exposure, it's about elevation. You don't need revenge, you need results. You don't need to retaliate, you need to reap. You don't need to curse them, you need to continue. Because wheat always wins, the fruit always tells the truth, the harvest always justifies the seed. And those who tried to destroy you will have no choice but to watch you rise. Now look in the mirror and speak this aloud over yourself. I am protected, I am planted, I am powerful. No enemy in disguise will derail my destiny. No whisper in the dark will silence my light. No fake friend will sabotage my field. What God planted in me cannot be stopped, and what He promised will be fulfilled. Let them grow, let them talk, let them sow. I will reap, I will rise, I will walk in the fullness of my calling. Because the one who watches over my field never sleeps, never slumbers, and never fails. Let the world know I saw the tares. I felt the betrayal. I heard the rumors, but I kept growing, and now I'm glowing. The harvest is here, and the truth can't be hidden any longer. I am wheat, and the reaper is coming.